Hello and welcome to the new session on fluid mechanics. We had discussed about the capillary action as well as surface tension in the previous class. Now we have to solve the numerical problems related to surface tension as well as capillary rise and fall. I hope that the session will definitely help you in understanding the capillary action as well as the surface tension. Take the first problem. The surface tension of water in contact with air at 20 degree centigrade is 0.0725 Newton per meter, 0.0725 Newton per meter, full stop. The pressure inside the droplet of water, is to be 0.02 Newton per centimeter square, 0.02 Newton per centimeter square greater than the outside pressure. Full stop. Calculate the diameter of the droplet of water. Calculate the diameter of the droplet of water. Okay. If you observe the data set given to you, you can find that it is a problem related to surface tension. What is the equation that governs the pressure inside the water droplet? If you remember, it is P is equal to 4 sigma by d. P is equal to 4 sigma by d, where sigma is nothing but the surface tension, d is the diameter, P is the pressure. Now in this problem he wants us to find out what is the diameter, and hence sigma and pressure are given. What is sigma? In the problem it is given that the surface tension sigma is equal to 0.0725 Newton per meter, 0.0725 Newton per meter. Also the pressure is given, and pressure is given to be equal to 0.02 Newton per centimeter square in excess of the outside pressure. What does that mean, in excess of outside pressure? So the pressure inside the droplet has to be greater than 0.02 Newton centimeter square. It has to be 0.02 Newton per centimeter square greater than the outside pressure. What pressure do we have outside? The pressure outside is nothing but atmospheric pressure. You will learn in the next chapter that atmospheric pressure is taken as 0 or reference for finding out or for measuring all other pressures, and hence whatever is pressure you have inside the droplet is in excess of the atmospheric pressure or the outside pressure. So it is given to be 0.02 Newton per centimeter square, which is not in SI units. So you will have to convert that into SI. How do I do it? 0.02 Newton per centi. Centi means 10 power minus 2. 10 power minus 2, you have a square. So 10 power minus 2 square meter square. In place of centi, I have written 10 power minus 2. So this is P is equal to 0.02. 10 power minus 2 square is 10 power minus 4. When you send it to the numerator, it becomes 10 power plus 4 Newton per meter square. If you just substitute in the equation that we know, you will get the solution. We know that P is equal to 4 sigma by d. So diameter must be equal to 4 into sigma is 0.0725 divided by the pressure. Pressure is 0.02 into 10 power 4. Get the calculator and solve it. The answer is 1.45 into 10 power minus 3 meter, or in other words 1.45 millimeter is the size of the droplet. That means only this much, very small water droplet. The next problem is the pressure outside the droplet of water, pressure outside the droplet of water of diameter 0.04 millimeter, 0.04 millimeter is 10.32 Newton per centimeter square, 10.32 Newton per centimeter square. Full stop. Calculate the pressure within the droplet, calculate the pressure within the droplet if the surface tension is given as, 0.0725 Newton per meter, 0.0725 Newton per meter. A small concept that I discussed with you in the previous problem will come to your rescue now. The pressure outside is given and you will have to calculate the pressure inside. Irrespective of the pressure we have outside, the pressure inside is different, and when you have to calculate the total pressure, then you will have to add the pressure outside, because you have measured the pressure keeping the outside pressure as reference. The total pressure must be the sum of them. However, let us not complicate things. What is given to you in the problem is the pressure outside the droplet is the additional data that you have. I will write it down. So, pressure outside, I will write it as PO. Surface tension, I think it has remained same, 0.0725 Newton per meter. Pressure outside the droplet is 10.32 Newton per centimeter square. Now, you know that it is 10.32 into 10 power 4 Newton per meter square. What else is given in the problem? You also have been given the diameter of the droplet, which is 0.04 millimeter. Milli is nothing but 10 power minus 3 meter. I will retain. What is his question? You will have to find out what is the pressure inside the droplet. Pressure inside the droplet. The equation that we have developed is nothing but the equation for pressure inside the water droplet. If you remember the equation that we derived in the previous class, it was for the pressure inside the droplet. So, you need not worry about this data unless it is asked for you to calculate what is the total pressure. However, now the equation remains P is equal to 4 sigma by D and diameter is given. You will have to find out what is pressure. So, 4 into sigma is 0.0725 and you have pressure as how much? Sorry, you have diameter as 0.04 into 10 power minus 3. You will easily get what is the pressure. Get me the answer using your calculator. I will get you the answer here. It is 7250 Newton per meter square. We will now solve a few problems on capillary action. Take a problem. Calculate the capillary effect in millimeter. Calculate the capillary effect in millimeter in a glass tube of 4 millimeter diameter, when immersed in first one water, second one mercury. Full stop. Next line. The value of surface tension of water, and mercury in contact with air, ARER, 0.073575 Newton per meter and 0.5 Newton per meter respectively. full stop. The angle of contact of water, the angle of contact of water with the glass is 0, with the glass is 0, and that for mercury, and that for mercury is 130 degrees. Full stop. Take the density of water as, take the density of water as 998 kg per meter cube, 998 kg per meter cube. This problem was asked once in the examination, or you may have this kind of question in the exam, because he wants you to write what actually happens when a glass tube is dipped in water and what happens when it is dipped in mercury. You must be aware of the fact that when you dip a glass tube of small diameter into water, there will be capillary rise, and when you do it for mercury, there will be capillary fall. How do you represent capillary rise and how do you represent capillary fall becomes important when you solve the problem, and you will also have to write what actually is happening, whether it is rise or fall. Now, all the related data is given to you, and what is the equation that you use for capillary rise or fall? If you remember, both are same. The equation that we use for capillary rise as well as capillary fall remains same. It is 4 sigma cos theta by rho GD. H is equal to 4 sigma cos theta by rho GD, where sigma is the surface tension, rho G means rho is specific mass, G is acceleration due to gravity, D is diameter of the pipe you are immersing. So, in the current problem, what is the data that is given to you? Surface tension of water with air is given, surface tension of mercury with air is also given. So, when first case you will have to take what happens when you have water. You already know that there has to be capillary rise, and in the second case it is mercury, so it has to be capillary fall. Okay, let's go and solve the problem with each and every step, understanding each and every step. So, diameter of the tube is given, which is 4 millimeter, that is 4 into 10 power minus 3 meter. Next, surface tension of water with air, that is given to you first, which is nothing but 0.073 575 Newton per meter. No need to change anything because it is given in SI unit, and the surface tension of mercury with air is given as 0.5 Newton per meter, and then the angle made by water with the glass is given, that I will write as theta W as 0. That means it has to be very pure water and clean glass, and then you have theta made by mercury, which is equal to 130 degrees, and then you have been given density of water as 998 kg per meter cube. So, density of water as 998 kg per meter cube. You will have to find out capillary action. H is equal to how much? That is his question, capillary action or capillary effect. So, first case I will take it as water. Case 1, water. By default, you must know that when you dip a capillary tube into water, there will be a rise in the level of water. So, surrounding becomes like this, and there is, and here it has to be very horizontal, because it says the angle made is 0. So, this is your H, and this has to be water. For water, it is capillary rise. We know that H is equal to 4 sigma cos theta by rho G D. Sigma of water, theta of water. So, this is 4 into 0.73 575 into cos 0. Cos 0 is 1 divided by rho. Rho of water is given as 998 into G is 9.81 into diameter is 4 into 10 power minus 3. Use your calculator and get me the value for H. It is capillary rise, and he wants the answer in terms of millimeter. Be careful, I have kept all the terminologies in terms of SI unit, that is in meter, but you want the answer in millimeter. Be careful and write it in meters only. So, the answer is 7.515 millimeter. 7.515 millimeter. Similarly, I will have to take the second case. Second case is nothing but mercury. Mercury. When you take mercury into consideration, what happens? There has to be capillary fall. Why? Because strong cohesion and weak adhesion, and he says the angle made theta is equal to 130 degrees. This theta is equal to 130 degrees, and the adjacent layer at the top will show you like this, show the difference like this. Now, it is capillary fall, capillary fall, but the equation remains same. We know that H is equal to 4 sigma mercury cos theta divided by rho g d. This also has to be theta of mercury. So, what are we left with? 4 into this surface tension of mercury with air is given to be 0.5 into cos 130 divided by rho, very important, rho of what? It has to be rho of mercury. How do I get the rho of mercury? So, I will do it here. Rho of mercury, if you have to get it, what you will have to know is specific gravity of mercury. So, specific gravity of mercury is equal to rho of mercury by rho of water. Please do not get confused. He says the density of water is 998 kg per meter cube. That is not the standard value. That is only pertaining to case 1 where 998 kg per meter cube needs to be taken. But for all other purposes, density of water or density of standard liquid remains as 1000 kg per meter cube. Be very careful about this, and you know that specific gravity of mercury is 13.6. Standard value of specific gravity for mercury is 13.6. So, density of mercury divided by density of standard liquid water is 1000, and hence density of mercury is 13,600 kg per meter cube. Do not make the mistake of taking 998 here, because 998 is only pertaining to the water you have here, that is not the density of standard liquid. When you consider the density of standard liquid, it has to be the density of water, and which is equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. So, I will write here 13,600 into 9.81 into diameter is 4 into 10 power minus 3, using which you can get to know what is the capillary fall. Capillary fall is found to be minus 2.4137, minus 2.4137 millimeter. That negative sign indicates capillary fall. That also has to be mentioned. Negative sign indicates capillary fall. A simple problem, but will fetch you 8 to 10 marks. Next problem. If two tubes, TWO, two tubes are dipped in water, if two tubes are dipped in water, comma 1 of 20 millimeter diameter, 1 of 20 millimeter diameter, and the other of 2 millimeter diameter, and the other of 2 millimeter diameter, comma, what is the difference? What is the difference of level of liquid? What is the difference of level of liquids in two tubes, TWO2, in two tubes, question mark. Take the surface tension of water as, take the surface tension of water as 0.073 Newton per meter, 0.073 Newton per meter. A simple problem, but a little application of the understanding that you have taken from the concepts. Now, he has given you a beaker or a container having water, and you are made to dip two tubes into it. I will show you with this diagram. Okay, you have water that he has given in the problem. You dip into it a 20 millimeter diameter tube, and adjacent to it you also place a 2 millimeter diameter tube. What is the general conception we can get from this? Where will you, of course you will have capillary rise, because this is small tube inserted into water. So, there has to be capillary rise, but what do you feel, in which tube you will see more rise in height? That is pure common sense. One can make out that the level of water in the tube with small diameter will definitely be greater. So, I will name that as H2. And of course, the level of rise or the height of rise in the smaller, in the bigger tube, that means diameter with bigger tube, will be less when considered to this. What is his question? What needs to be found out? Find the difference in level of liquids. So, his question is H2 minus H1 is how much the difference in levels, or in other terms you can write it as H1 difference H2. Since I know from the diagram that H2 is greater than H1, I have written it as H2 minus H1. So, I will first have to calculate capillary action in pipe diameter of 20 millimeter, and next I will have to calculate the capillary action in the pipe of diameter or the tube of diameter 2 millimeter. So, I have D1 as 20 millimeter, that is 20 into 10 power minus 3 meter, D2 as 2 into 10 power minus 3 meter. You will have to find out H1 and H2, so that you will get to know what is H2 minus H1. This is with the help of sigma, which is given to be 0.073 Newton per meter. What equation binds all of them? Capillary is given as 4 sigma cos theta by rho GD. We know that capillary action, that is capillary rise, H is equal to 4 sigma cos theta by rho GD. Since he has not mentioned anything about the angle made by the water with the glass, you will have to forcefully assume that that is equal to 0. So, what will you write? Assume that, after this you please take down, assume that the water is pure and the glass is clean. Water is pure and the glass is clean, that is theta is equal to 0. When, or you simply write it as assume theta is equal to 0, which implies cos theta is equal to 1. So, in case 1, wherein D is 20 millimeter, you have H is equal to 4 into 0.073 divided by rho of water is 1000, G is 9.81, diameter is 20 into 10 power minus 3. You will get this as H1. Similarly, you will find out what is H2. Similarly, H2 is equal to 4 into 0.073 divided by rho is 1000, G is 9.81, diameter here is 2 into 10 power minus 3. So, you will get both H1 and H2. H1 is nothing but 1.4882 millimeter, and H2 is 14.882 millimeter, 14.882 millimeter. Therefore, H2 minus H1, which is actually the question, H2 minus H1 is equal to 13.3938, 13.3938 millimeter. This is the solution to the question raised. Next problem. A capillary tube having an inside diameter of 4 millimeter is dipped in water, full stop. Determine the height of water which will rise. Determine the height of water which will rise in the tube. Full stop. Take surface tension of water as 0.075 Newton per meter, 0.075 Newton per meter, and theta is equal to 60 degrees, full stop. What will be the percentage change? When the tube diameter is reduced to half, Okay, a simple problem, but a small twist involved. I will retain the diagram, I will tell you why. Now, I have the question of a capillary tube having dipped into water. What is the diameter of the tube? That is 4 millimeter. Diameter 1 I will take as 4 millimeter, and surface tension of water is given as 0.075 Newton per meter. This is the surface tension. Once you know these two, and also he has mentioned theta is equal to 60 degrees. That means 4 sigma cos theta by rho GD. In that you know what is sigma, you know what is diameter, so you can easily calculate what is h. Now, the point is when the diameter is reduced to half, that means D2 is equal to D1 by 2, that is 2 millimeter. That is the reason why I have kept this diagram as it is. Let this have a diameter of 4 millimeter and let this have a diameter of 2 millimeter. Now, case 1 wherein you will write H1, or we know that I could have written this also, H is equal to 4 sigma cos theta by rho G D. In case of H1, it has to be 4 into 0.075 into 4 sigma cos 60 divided by rho is 1000 because it is water, G is 9.81 into diameter is 4 into 10 power minus 3, and similarly H2 has to be 4 into 0.075 into cos 60 into cos 60 divided by 1000 into 9.81 into, when it is reduced to half, it is 2 millimeter, that is 2 into 10 power minus 3. And in his question he has continued and asked what is the percentage change in capillarity, percentage change in capillarity. How do I find it out? I will have to first find out what is the change. Change by original will always help you in finding out how much percentage it has changed. I will show you how. Now first find out what is the H1. H1 is nothing but, when you have 4 millimeter diameter pipe, it is 3.822 millimeter, 3.822 millimeter, 3.822 millimeter, and when you have 2 millimeter diameter pipe or tube, it is 7.65 millimeter, 7.65 millimeter. So the change has to be 3.882 when you have 4 millimeter diameter pipe and 7.65 when you have 2 millimeter pipe. Then you will have to have H2 minus H1 as, I think, if I am not wrong, that also comes out to be 3.82, or in other terms you can go for 3.6 7.65 3.82, so it is 3.82, or I will help you by writing the equation. Percentage change is given by percentage change is equal to change by original into 100, change by original into 100. That means what is the change? 7.65 minus 3.882 is the change, divided by original. What is original? Original is 3.822 multiplied by 100. You will have to find out what is the percentage change. The percentage change has to be 100% here. Next problem. Assuming that the sap in a tree has same characteristics as water, and it rises purely due to capillary phenomenon, find the average diameter, of capillary tube, if the sap is carried to a height of 10 meters, full stop. Take the surface tension of water as 0.0735 Newton per meter. Except the terminologies given in the problem, rest of the things are very similar to the previous problem. What is the terminology change that he has given? He says that there is sap in a tree which is very similar to water, and the sap is carried to the top of the tree, that is 10 meters away from the root. It is raised purely due to, assume that it is raised purely due to capillary action. That means that has to act as capillary tube itself. That means what is the data given to you? So you have a capillary tube whose diameter needs to be calculated. Rest of the things are given. What are those rest of the things? He says surface height h, capillary rise is 10 meters. Such a huge height, because the previous problems when you solved you could see that the capillary actions was in millimeters. Now in this problem capillary rise is 10 meter, that means the diameter of the tube carrying the sap must be very small. Now 10 meters is the height to which the sap needs to be carried, and what do we have? Surface tension as equal to 0.0735 Newton per meter. Theta you need to assume it as 0 because nothing about it is given. So theta is equal to 0. What needs to be calculated is diameter of the carrying tube. So we know that h is equal to 4 sigma cos theta by rho g d. So h is equal to 10, 4 into 0.0735 into cos 0 divided by rho is 1000 because it is very similar to water, that is what is given in the problem, into g is 9.81 multiplied by diameter is what needs to be calculated. So when you calculate diameter, because that is the only unknown in the equation, you will end up getting diameter as 2.996 into 10 power minus 6 meter, which is nothing but 2.996 micrometer. It is very small. That is what I told. To carry the sap to 10 meter, which is a very great height, the diameter of the tube has to be very small, and that is what you have got it to be 2.996 micrometer. Take the next and the last problem on capillarity. Determine the capillarity between two thin vertical plates 2 millimeter apart in water, 2 millimeter apart in water, having a surface tension of 0.07 Newton per meter, Newton per meter, and contact angle of 10 degrees, Please be little cautious when you solve this problem, because this is not in the tube, but this is capillarity between two parallel plates. When you have two parallel plates and you know that there is going to be only capillary rise, what is the equation that we use? Instead of 4 sigma cos theta, you have to remember that it is 2 sigma cos theta. Rest of the things you have absolutely no change. He says, what is this surface tension? 0.07 Newton per meter. Capillarity you will have to find out. Theta is equal to 10 degrees, and the gap between the plates are given as 2 millimeter. That itself is d here. D is 2 millimeter, that is 2 into 10 power minus 3 meter. How do I write the space between the plates as d? You must remember the derivation that we did in previous classes, wherein we took the gap between the two parallel plates as d. So we know that for plates h is equal to 2 sigma cos theta by rho g d. So this is 2 into 0.07 into cos 10 divided by rho is 1000, g is 9.81, diameter is given to be, or here it is not diameter but the distance between the two parallel plates is given to be 2 millimeter, that is 2 into 10 power minus 3. So you will get what is actually required, h is equal to the capillary rise between the two parallel plates, h is 7 millimeter. So with this we complete the first chapter in the first module, which spoke about the entire basic properties of fluids. Just to have a recap before I wind up this class, you learned about most important 4 basic properties, that are specific mass, specific weight, specific volume and specific gravity. Remember, all these terminologies do have synonyms. That means specific mass can be termed as mass density, or simply density also relates to specific mass only. Specific weight can be termed as weight density. Specific gravity can be termed as relative density, because it gives the density of a liquid in relation to the other liquid. So, these terminologies may be confusing for a while, but with practice I think you can make the best out of it. And then moving ahead, you learned about viscosity and Newton's law of viscosity, solved a lot of problems on viscosity, and moved towards other basic properties such as cohesion and adhesion, based on which you learned surface tension. Based on cohesion, adhesion and surface tension, you learned capillarity, and then you also solved numerical problems on all these concepts, I think, which consolidated your the gain of knowledge about the basics of fluid mechanics, basics of fluids in fact. I hope to see you in the next class with the new chapter in the first module, which is pressure and its measurement, which is very, very important for understanding as well as for the purpose of facing the examination. Thanks for the patient listening. Let's wind up this class now.